I get used to this. I was thinking to myself earlier, I always just kind of mutter or blur out filler words that I don't really need to be saying. And as I've been trying to grow in my faith and grow into how I want to be more intentional in my daily habits, in my routine lately, everything kind of goes into play. Everything that you do and say kind of holds value. You have the power of life and death in your tongue. And I'm like, no, I have work tomorrow. I'm like, why am I saying no? I just say it out of habit almost. My intent is not even to complain. I don't need to be saying these unintentional things when I don't mean them at all. I want today's topic to be kind of more subjective. It's to say that you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Essentially saying you choose. You get to deal with the consequences or the rewards of the actions you choose to do. You choose to be with someone. You make the choice daily to make sacrifices for them or not. That applies to everything in life, I'd say. You choose to put in the work, you choose to be lazy, or you can choose to just stay stagnant. If someone's willingly and actively not choosing to do something, I have no power over that. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was happy, someone was perhaps celebrating their success? Think about you in that situation. Did you feel happy for them, or were you ever unhappy when someone was celebrating? Happiness sometimes can trigger unhappy people. I was trying to think to a time where I felt unhappy when I saw someone happy. I was like, no. If I see someone smiling, I'm going to smile. Like that low-key just spreads the awareness, like we should all just smile and be happy. It made me realize sometimes how people act and behave is really a projection of themselves. They kind of can't help but to act that way because they are unsatisfied. Oh my gosh. Guys, I keep thinking like someone's behind me. You know what? I have never done that. Especially if they're my friend. Like if my friend was happy and they reached a milestone or a goal, I get so happy and proud when my friends do what they say they were gonna do, because I'm like, that's all you wanted. You know, you worked hard for it and that's what you were working for. You had a goal you set for yourself and you did it. The only reason why I would feel unhappy is maybe because I'm in competition with them. And to do that, you must be low-key just not confident in yourself. Why would you feel the need to make your whole emotion based on someone else's entire being? The only competition you have should be yourself. You should be just trying to beat your old self every day. How can you compare yourself with other people when you are the only competition? Like, you are trying to beat yourself. Anyway, if you're not going to be happy for yourself, it's going to be very difficult or even impossible to be happy for other people. And that's just the fact. If you don't have a solid foundation built from within, you can't really help others. That's just the plain old truth and fact, okay? I feel like it's like not hot enough in here. You know, I do think there are bare minimums for a friendship or a relationship or how you should treat people. There are certain behaviors, you know, you just can't accept or you can't tolerate. Deep down we know, but sometimes we give leeway to those that we love and those that we care about. So that's why a lot of the times when people are mistreating us and we care about them, we end up tolerating a lot of their behaviors even when it hurts us, even if that's something we originally would not tolerate. It's very interesting for me to go through experiences or hear experiences from other people that go through breakups or go through friendships that don't work out anymore because of the way people were mistreating them. You wouldn't have done that in the first place, so why are you letting them cross your boundaries? It's just like human behavior and how mind behaves. I'm actually learning about that in school right now, so I think it's really interesting to see why we do the things we do. The human brain is really interesting, guys. And sometimes maybe there is no reason for the things that we do. We just do it out of love, out of habit, out of the sake in our heart. You know, sometimes people do strange things for love. You know, so I think it's funny. It's like, should I be tolerating this behavior when it kind of makes me feel a certain way? Or should I just let it go? Why do I feel a certain way when this person does it to me? But when this other person does it to me, I have no reaction. Is it because my mind puts them on a pedestal? Is it because I expect something out of them? I don't even mean to be doing these things, but then when my friends ask me, they're like, Jasmine, do you even like this person? That is actually a good question because I never really stopped to think about it. You just go because it's like with the flow. So now my mind is a little bit more clear on things I should really just stand on, because people, without meaning to, use you when you have no firm foundation to stand on. That's how your time is going to be wasted, and that's how your flow is going to get disrupted, because you have no solid ground or beliefs that you are standing on. When something is free, everyone is just gonna take you and use you. That is what it is. You don't mean to take advantage of someone, but when it's a free access, what do? Obviously, you're going to test it out, you're going to taste test it, you're going to do whatever you want, because there is no honest and true value with it. So in becoming and realizing that in order to have value, you need to have a strong character. You need to be who you are. And when I say be who you are, it's like you have to have boundaries, you have to have specific standards, and be strict. You need to have a strict program. People need to know that you and your energy and your presence is earned. When my best friends hang out with me, or like when I hang out with them, I'm always like, I miss your presence. Because it's rare. Their presence is rare. It just makes it so much more precious. It's because I can't find anyone like that 24/7. A best friend is built. A relationship is built. A friendship is built and is earned. You don't just get these things for free. In order to have these strong things, you have to be willing to partake in this relationship and this connection. You can't just rely on everyone else to do all the work for you, because if you think that nothing in my life is going great, I have no real friends, I just don't have really anything. If you dig a little deeper and think if you really even did the work to maintain these strong foundations or maintain these friendships that you have, maybe it would have been different. Obviously, we can't control all of these outcomes all the time. We can't really control what other people do. All we can do is literally just be ourselves, be the best versions of ourselves that we can, and help others. Sometimes a person's 20% might be their 100. So sometimes it just might be a day of like, oh, I'm going to give a little bit more than I usually do. And some days that you may not be able to give more, they'll give more. It's like not supposed to be this game of keeping score all the time. You will not be actually keeping score if that genuine friendship was real. You never even have the time to be keeping score of something like that. That is so silly to me when people play games and be petty and keep track. You guys know what I mean. That is just not healthy, because you're kind of just holding a grudge in your head all the time. Oh, I don't like this person, so I'm going to remember the fact that they did this to me, and I'm going to act like, no. That's how you are holding resentment in your heart also. Yes, they might have done something wrong to you. So, and what did you do? Just be yourself. Be kind, be courageous. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. It's just all in about holding yourself strong enough to where you know who you are. I've been trying to give advice recently just about holding yourself to a standard and being confident in yourself where no one can really take that away from you. Okay guys, I'm starting to sweat in this hot tub. If you are striving to be someone, how does their typical life look like? And would they do the things that you are doing right now? So I had this conversation with my really good friend. If you're striving to be someone who has good habits, who has strong values, or is just trying to become a better athlete overall, would they be doom scrolling and rotting in their bed all the time? Or would they be working on maybe studying or working on meal prepping, doing things that actually have value and intent behind it? Whether you like it or not, time is going to pass by anyway. So whether you miss that gym workout or you miss something when you could be making good use of your time is going to pass by anyways. So I'm like, might as well low-key just use that time to get ahead of people when people use that time to rest. I'm not saying don't rest. Rest is crucial. But I'm saying when you're actively just sitting around and doing nothing, you could be doing something better with your time. If you're striving to be someone better, you need to start acting like it. You have to act like that someone. And it's kind of a sense of fake it till you make it mentality. I'm not saying you need to act cocky and you can't be lying around your way. If you're going to be someone, you need to start behaving. You need to have good habits, and you need to hold yourself to these standards and be like, okay, I'm not okay with eating like trash. I'm not okay with having a trashy sleep schedule. I'm not okay with bad friendships and people that don't respect me. You're not going to tolerate these when you are of high value. Sometimes you will weed out a lot of those people in your life because they just don't have that purpose in your life, you know. And I'm not saying you need to like abruptly cut these people off. It's just like, oh, maybe our paths just don't connect anymore. If something just doesn't align with yours anymore, you don't have to cut people off. You can just be like, time passes by, maybe it will come back again, but you know, for the time being, this is just not where we're at, and it's okay. It's okay. The right people will literally understand you and want you to be the best version of yourself. It's not supposed to feel toxic. It's not supposed to feel like you have to compete for someone's attention or love or effort. But you're not supposed to have to compete for friends. That's not what a real friend is. A real friend would want you to go for your goals, even if it means you need to leave them. You know, my friends had to leave for college. Even if I love them and we obviously want to see each other every day, that is not what I want them to do. And I wouldn't want that for myself. Like, what purpose does that give me? That is no good, like, that has no real value and that has no long-term benefit. You know, them going to college, it might be 6 hours away. To love is to let go sometimes. Everyone has a different path and you can't expect everyone to be on your same path. And that is how you kind of establish a bond. That's how you establish more of a better trust and a connection when you can bond over these differences. And when you do hang out and connect after all this time and it feels like nothing has happened, that's who you keep. Because that means these people, despite all these differences happening, they still choose you and they still choose to maintain you as a friend. They still choose to actively partake in your life, and you are doing the same to them. That's why I cherish my friendship so much, because I know everyone is busy. I know despite all these time, despite all the busy schedules and everything that is happening, we make time for each other. Even if it's just brief lunch over the span of a year or two, even if it's just driving all the way to see them for a day, you know, that's what makes it so valuable and that's what makes it so precious. Kind of made it more rare in the sense that I don't get to see them as often anymore, but even before, like, I would hold them dear to my heart because they're just someone I value and I would not want to lose them. And that is what makes it so valuable. It's like, these are just good, genuine people. It's just hard for some people to grasp that this is what a true friend should be like.